organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV, found guilty again. The recent verdict on the Amanda Knox trial is next.
And the votes are in for the Farm Bill. We'll tell you the verdict soon.
And in sports, Iowa basketball travels to Illinois. The preview is on the way.
We have it all at the top of the hour. Daily Iowan TV starts now.
I'm Tom Brokaw. For more than 100 years now, the University of Iowa community has been waking up to the Daily Iowan. Today, it's the largest newsroom in eastern Iowa. And now you can see the news every night on Daily Iowan TV and get it anytime worldwide at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for tuning in this evening. I'm Muriel Kone.
And I'm Reed Chandler. And a former exchange student from America, Amanda Knox, has been found guilty of murder by the Italian justice system for the second time. Knox and her ex-boyfriend, Rafael Solicito, killed Meredith Kercher in November of 2007. Knox was originally convicted of murder, but those charges were overturned in 2011. Today, the judge also convicted Knox of slander and sentenced her to 28.5 years in prison.
The Farm Bill has finally passed after more than 2 years of rigorous debate. The nearly $100 billion per year compromise will preserve most crop subsidies, but will make a small cut to food stamps. Republicans saw a 5% cut to the food stamp program, but the final bill will only cut roughly 1%.
And the Iowa City metro area is expected to see both a slight economic growth and a drop in unemployment this year. This is in line with national trends in nearly every metro area in the country. According to a recent report by the U.S. Conference for Mayors, the Iowa City area will see a 2.9% growth in gross metropolitan product.
Heart disease continues to be one of the major causes of death in Iowa, and the University of Iowa Health Alliance is doing their part to reduce the risk. They conducted their first set of screening this past month throughout the state to detect heart disease and stroke. Catching the disease in its early stages is very important because it's much easier to treat, and UI spokesman Tom Moore said in an interview with the Daily Iowan that this is a very serious and common problem, and these screenings provide a more convenient way for Iowans to get access.
One University of Iowa researcher found that Iowans are nearly 3 times as likely to carry MRSA, a drug resistant, in their nostril. This is prevalent in people who live near a hog confinement with more than 2,500 pigs. MRSA is a condition that causes an infection after residing in the nose or on the skin. The UI hospitals and clinics are now screening patients for this bacteria.
You may have to say goodbye to your personal mailboxes soon. The U.S. Postal Service is moving towards clustering mailboxes in every neighborhood to reduce debt. This new system will group all of a neighborhood's mailbox in one structure. Newer neighborhoods are used to this new system, but older ones will take a little time to get used to.
And the UI hospitals and clinics has lowered their daily parking rates after one Iowa resident started a campaign against its parking fees. The daily limit has now gone down to $10 per day for patients and visitors whose tickets are validated. And Tom Lohr of Waterloo, Iowa, started a Facebook group called Gramps versus Ramps. And after his granddaughter Kylie was battling leukemia, he got this group moving. His frequent visits to the UIHC cost him up to $18 per day. The group currently has almost 760 members, and after numerous emails, the UI took action in support of the campaign.
There are a number of projects around the hospital that we will just hold back on. We will not do anything to undermine safety or structural integrity or cleanliness.
Ricketts said by cutting back on ramp projects, they're able to afford the reduced price in the short run, and they will wait to see if any changes in pricing need to be made in the future.
It's new partnerships and new policies for the new late-night Bijou film series. The Bijou and film scene recently joined forces on a new venture now called Bijou After Hours. The late-night series changed their alcohol-free policy to providing the beverage before screenings as a result of the partnership. And still on the way, stories of survival, what one dance marathon graduate is doing now.
And in sports, a look into the Iowa men's tennis team as they begin their 2014 campaign.
But first, let's check in with Daily Iowan TV reporter Brandon Bittner in the weather studio for the latest. Brandon?
Thanks, Muriel. We've had a nice break from the cold these past few days, and hopefully the nice weather is here to stay. We were blasted with a quick snowstorm this afternoon, but we should be snow-free until this weekend. We are looking at a high of 6 degrees tomorrow morning, with temperatures increasing to 11 for the afternoon. By the evening, temps will reach 13 degrees. This weekend will likely bring snow on Saturday with mild temperatures in the upper 20s. Sunday will bring cool temps in the teens with clear skies. The rest of the week will be around the average, staying close to the teens with a chance of snow on Tuesday. That's the weather for this week. Now back to you guys.
Well, Dance Marathon's about a week away now, and as part of our continuing coverage of the big event,
We have Daily Iowan reporter Rebecca Hager here with a story on survival.
Year after year, Dance Marathon makes life a little easier for kids with cancer. Dancers help families with financial and emotional support. Well, this is a story about a little girl's life after cancer. A Dance Marathon graduate, Sina Graham, is a thriving, active, and cancer-free kid. 12-year-old Sina Graham loves to swim.
It's just like underwater, it's like you can't hear anything and the whole world is closed out.
It's something she doesn't need great eyesight for. At just 6 months old, doctors diagnosed her with retinoblastoma, cancer, in both of her eyes.
They said we're going to start chemo on Monday.
After 6 rounds of chemo and 25 days of radiation, the doctors made a life-saving decision.
The right eye was not responding. It was actually growing. So they said, we got to take it out.
Now, cancer-free, Sina loves Dance Marathon,
I love it. It's awesome.
where other kids are just like her.
A lot of people are like me and nobody will ask why I have weird eyes.
Her family has attended all but one big event since Sina's treatments finished in 2003. And outside of Dance Marathon, Sina is like any other growing 12-year-old.
Being a teenage girl, I love to eat.
She swims every day after school and is an honorary member of the Hawkeye swim team. When she's not at swim practice, Sina watches Netflix and texts her boyfriend.
He is like a perfect gentleman. Seriously.
And like any 12-year-old, she has big dreams.
I kind of want to be a librarian or a geologist or maybe a journalist because I like getting up in people's business.
In the meantime, she's working on her front stroke and just being a kid. The Graham family's life completely changed after Sina's cancer. Sina's mother, Lori, now teaches the visually impaired, and together, they spread awareness about retinoblastoma.
And now for what's happening beyond Iowa. War-torn Syria saw some relief today. The country observed a minute of silence to honor more than 130,000 people who have died in the last 3 years. The Syrian government and opposition representatives are in negotiations and hope to bring an end to the war.
And former Pope John Paul II has gone missing. Well, not exactly, but a small vial about the size of a fingernail containing the former Pope's blood is currently missing in action. The artifact contained blood from when John Paul was wounded in a 1981 shooting, and police say the suspect of the missing artifact are unaware of its value when they threw it away.
Strong earnings from Facebook was cited as a contributing factor to recent rise in stocks. Facebook beat expectations by jumping 15% today, and the U.S. economy grew at an annual rate of 3.2% in the fourth quarter, and Dow Jones Industry Average rose 5.5%. Overall, the stock market is looking up.
And now for a look at everything black and gold athletics, let's toss it over to Kevin Glick and Taylor Axelson, who are standing by. Guys?
Thanks, Reed. A border war coming up this weekend for men's hoops on the hardwood as they look to bounce back from their midweek loss to Michigan State at Illinois.
That plus a look at the men's tennis team as they begin their 2014 campaign. But first, we start with a quick update from last night in Minneapolis.
That's right, Kevin. Lisa Bluter and her streaking Hawks continuing their winning ways in the Twin Cities, sweeping the season series over the Golden Gophers with a 64-56 road victory at Williams Arena.
Freshman Ellie Disseroff flourishing in her new starting role in this one, leading the Hawks with a game-high 13 points.
Fran McCaffrey's men's hoop squad will be looking for some of that same road success this weekend at Assembly Hall on the University of Illinois campus.
Our basketball beat reporter Jalen Socek has the preview.
When the black and gold fell to Tom Izzo's Spartans Tuesday night, not only did it snap a 20-game win streak inside Carver Hawkeye Arena, it meant that the Hawkeyes fell to 1-5 against current AP top-ranked opponents. Close losses to Villanova, Iowa State, Wisconsin. Right now, Iowa's flat out struggling to put away top teams.
Yeah, it's tough. several points with a minute to go and you end up losing the game, it's always a hard one.
Whether it's missed free throws down the stretch, losing their cool on the sidelines, or just flat out not being experienced enough, the reality of the situation is Iowa is just not there yet.
And felt like I had a chance to get to the rim, and I got it as deep as I could and tried to get a good look. And you know, it was a tough loss tonight, and you know, we're going to keep working and, you know, try to keep putting on a show for our fans.
It's not that Iowa can't turn things around. The Hawks rank 3rd in rebounds, averaging 44 a game, and 7th in points per game, tallying up an average of 84.5. And they boast one of the deepest benches in the nation. McCaffrey knows it's these types of games that Iowa needs to win down the stretch, but first Iowa will have another challenge ahead as they head to Champaign, Illinois to take on the Fighting Illini.
You just got to refocus your energy towards the next team and get ready in practice and listen to what the coaching staff has to say for the game plan and then go in there with the confidence that we normally show and normally play with. And guys just gotta step up and make plays.
Yeah, that's a great thing about basketball is you don't have to wait a whole week. You don't have to think about it too long. You got to get right back to work because you can't let one loss dwell and turn into two. So we're going to be out to work and be ready for Illinois.
Illinois has dropped their last 6 games, but Iowa's last one in Assembly Hall dates back 15 years ago in 1999, where they won 78-72. This is Jalen Socek, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Men's tennis also in action this weekend.
Whitney Blakemore caught up with the team before they head into their 2014 campaign.
During Steve Houghton's 33 years as the head coach for the Iowa men's tennis team, he has never made it to the NCAA tournament. But for this season, with 6 seniors leading the team and a new assistant coach, he's ready to make his appearance.
Yeah, we've been very, very close to going 2 or 3 years during the last several years. We're just looking back, if we win one match that we should have won, would have been in NCAAs. But having said that, I mean, it's been a long drought as far as that goes. So obviously that'd be important. I mean, I'm not going to coach forever. I'm kind of getting toward the end anyway. And yeah, that'd be very meaningful as far as making that happen.
And it's not just the coach who is feeling time run out. The seniors especially have the pressure to improve this year.
You know, looking in the past couple of years, we haven't won a Big Ten match, you know, so that would probably be one of our biggest ones, is to really make an impact and make a splash in the Big Ten, and I think Ross has put us in a position where we can really do that.
First-year assistant coach Ross Wilson has been working the team harder than ever to make that change they have all been waiting for.
We've been working for this since August, so we're all looking forward to play. We've been practicing hard, like more than ever, and I think we're all ready for it, like physically and mentally.
But yet, one question still remains.
You know, are they going to be kind of living in the past, thinking about kind of the tough times we had the last couple of years, or really being determined to really make this a special year in terms of reversing all that?
Whitney Blakemore, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for now for tonight's show, but a quick reminder before we leave you tonight.
The nationally ranked Iowa wrestlers will be taking on Northwestern this weekend in Evanston. Coverage of all of that and much, much more will be coming up after the weekend.
But for now, it's back to you guys at the desk.
That's all we have for you tonight, but be sure to catch Friday's edition of the Daily Iowan.
Get to know one gubernatorial candidate who's coming to campus tomorrow.
And find out the connection that African lilies and sea sponges have with anti-cancer drugs.
But before we leave you tonight, look at these puppies go. So many furry friends in one room, all preparing for this year's Puppy Bowl airing Sunday before the big game.
And this year, the Super Bowl is heading into their 48th year, while the Puppy Bowl will be celebrating their 10-year anniversary.
And the halftime show, you guessed it, will be a kitty halftime show. And there's also new additions this year, such as the Penguin cheerleaders.
I actually already did my Puppy Bowl draft online the day before the big game. I picked 3 adorable little puppies: Sparky, Van Helsing, what a vicious name for a little dog, and Ginger. So I'll be cheering my pups on during Sunday afternoon.
Well, I hope you win, Reed.
I know I will win because I won our fantasy football league team this year. So, yeah, impressive, right? Thanks for tuning in this evening.
We'll be back at the same time on Sunday, or you can catch us anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
Have a great evening.